A live-action TV adaptation of Dungeons & Dragons is in the works with a Stranger Things creative. There have been several attempts to adapt the fantasy tabletop RPG, with 4 Dungeons & Dragons movies having already been released. 2023's Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves was the most recent. The format and epic scope of the game, as well as the imaginative elements, have made it a notoriously challenging adaptation. As previous adaptations have struggled to get off the ground, there has been interest in adapting the intellectual property to a new medium. Per Deadline, a live-action adaptation of Dungeons & Dragons is in the works at Netflix with Hasbro Entertainment. It will be developed by writer-showrunner Drew Crivello, with longtime Netflix collaborator Levy set to come on board as a producer. The series will be titled The Forgotten Realms and will take place during the famous campaign setting. If it is a success, it could lead to a proper Dungeons & Dragons universe. Netflix and Hasbro had no comment on the news. What this means for the Dungeons & Dragons TV show. A long-form version could be the ideal option for this fantasy IP. The Dungeons & Dragons movies were a mix of theatrical and home video releases. However, despite each movie offering something new, the property just doesn't seem to work in the realm of a feature film, which is what makes a TV adaptation so interesting. This brings a completely fresh and unique approach to Dungeons & Dragons and could reinvigorate interest in the film series. It could even lead to an Honor Among Thieves sequel film at some point in the future. Netflix has become a haven for long-form storytelling in recent years, and this could be just exactly what Dungeons & Dragons needs for a successful adaptation. A TV series would allow for greater scope, deeper storylines, richer and more textured character arcs, and multi-season dramatic plotlines to be explored. Having a strong creative team on board is key too. As an executive producer on Stranger Things Season 5, Levy will be coming off the back of a huge genre project, and will be well placed to helm another ambitious show. Our take on a Dungeons & Dragons Netflix adaptation. It could be a hit, but there's always the risk of an early cancellation. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves characters facing something off-screen. Netflix has spent a lot of time and money on its originals in recent times. With flagship series like Stranger Things, You, and Cobra Kai coming to an end this year, the streamer will be looking for another popular show to fill the roster. Dungeons & Dragons could be the perfect option for this, but, as is common with Netflix, there is always a risk the show will be cancelled prematurely. Hopefully, a Dungeons & Dragons adaptation is a successful long-term hit for Netflix.